Hi everyone, this is Dango. In this video, we're going to talk about our community tournament, which is the Summoner Langrisser. So if you go to the Wikigrisser, you go to the tournament hall, and here you can see everything about the Summoner Langrisser. So basically, this is the season 1 of our community tournament, and the stage 1 of this tournament is a round robin. So 96 players actually joined our tourney, so a lot of players get a chance to play against each other. And not like the in the playoff of regular season, if players lose a game, they are out of the tournament. In our tournament, you get a chance to play all the players in the group stage, so you get a lot of chance to meet new players and to play with others. So the round 2 is the double elimination period, and it is also less stressful because if you lose one battle, you basically drops from the winner bracket to the loser bracket. So you're still going to have another chance to, battle against your opponent. And yeah, in this video, we are going to just discuss what happened about the final match. And the final match is between MethoD and Lukcid. So yeah, these players are both very strong. And yeah, let's just see how they perform in the final match. And now let's just jump right into the game. So this is the first game between the two players. And yeah, let's see what box are they using here. They are actually using a quite similar box now, and yet not exactly the same. So they have characters that can ignore the guard, which is Alastrio, Zareda in both sides. But MethoD here has one more ignore guard character, it's Hihei. And Lukcid is using like Yulia and Claret and Net of Mystery to kill the tanks, whereas MethoD is using Claret, Net of Mystery, and also Elven to kill the tanks. So yeah, it's very kind of like similar box. MethoD here is using 3 healers, whereas Lukcid here is using 4 healers. So okay, and they decided to both ban land use first. And this makes sense because both players are using Claret and Net of Mystery. Claret and Net of Mystery are very strong with land use. This is why land use is also first banned here. And also, if your plan is to get through tanks, land use has double life, so that's a lot harder to get through compared to the other tank, which is Juggler in both box. MethoD also needs to ban land use first so that his Elven can actually be used because this is a Sword Elven, which cannot do much to a cavalry land use. So both sides goes first ban land use here. And the second ban from MethoD is Zareda plus Listail. Zareda is like calling faction buff for Juggler, and Listail's heal reverse is a huge counter to Juggler. So both sides kind of ban the same. Lukcid here, second pick is Alastrio. Alastrio is not super good in this map. But yeah, there are a lot of grassland in this map, so if you are attacking with Alastrio on grassland, she can ignore the guards. So MethoD's second pick here is Yusuke. Yusuke cannot kill tanks, but he's very tanky, so Alastrio is very hard to kill Yusuke. And after you do bring down the juggler, then Yusuke becomes like godlike. This is why MethoD, like Yusuke is actually one of the favorite units from MethoD. So they both get Net of Mystery, but Lukcid Net of Mystery is not going to receive any attack buff. There is going to be Attack Blessing or Iris Teleport, but there is no attack buff for this Net of Mystery. And MethoD here, his Net of Mystery instead may receive the attack buff from Valor. So in this battle, I would say from pick and ban, MethoD is having a slight advantage here. It is very hard for Lukcid to get through the Juggler because there is no attack buff. So for Net of Mystery to kill Juggler is not that easy. But MethoD here has the attack buff and also damage buff from Valor. So for MethoD to kill Lukcid Juggler is actually much easier. And also the key point here is also Alastrio. With Attack Blessing and Iris Teleport, this Alastrio may be able to find a kill on this Net of Mystery and Basil. You cannot kill Yusuke, but you can still kill these two. So if that happens, that can still be a reasonable trade for Lukcid. So and also the other thing is that although MethoD Mystery is hard to kill juggler by herself without any attack buff, but if you combine Iris teleport and also attack blessing both with MethoD Mystery, then maybe you get a chance to kill a juggler. With a very good juggler, you can still not find the kill, but maybe if you don't bring faction buff on the juggler, and if you are not using the red enchant, maybe you can still get killed by a MethoD Mystery with the double attack support from like Iris and from Iris and Tiaris. So just one thing for this battle. So yeah, so this battle we know the clear objective from each side. So the next thing to think about is kind of what troop they should bring. So if you are using Alastriel, think about what troop should you bring. Your Alastriel is going to try to snipe these MethoD Mysteries and Basil. So maybe you are trying to think about the Born Dino as the desired troop. Is that something you would choose? Like if you are using Alastriel? On the MethoD side, he wants to survive from this Alastriel. So this Basil can use a tanky troop like Crystal Warlock, but Crystal Warlock is still dead against Born Dino. One of the troops that MethoD can select here is the Lancer troop, the Stone Colossal for Basil, but then if Alastriel is using the Flyer troop, then Basil may still die from Alastriel. So it's really a gambling between the two, and we will see the result in a minute. Yeah, so MethoD is assuming that Lukcid is using Born Dino, which he indeed used that, and MethoD here is using the Basil with Stone Colossals. So with that, actually Alastriel can no longer one-shot Basil. So this is just something, I would say MethoD win the main game here. The Alastriel can still kill MethoD Mystery, but then this Basil you cannot kill. So Juggler here does not bring faction buff, and also there's no method for him to increase the magic defense. The magic defense is only 525, so that means with the help of Tiaris and Iris, and one very interesting thing for Lukcid is he also is using attack support. So although you don't have the attack buff for your MethoD Mystery, this attack support is like providing a little bit weaker of the attack buff. So this is increasing 15% of the attack or intelligence for one turn. So this is actually very useful when you don't have extra attack source for your characters. So this is what Lukcid provides for the MethoD Mystery. So in this case, MethoD Mystery can actually have a huge threat to the enemy's juggler. This juggler, again, the magic defense here is very low. So let's just get the first few turns is just going to be the players trying to positioning their characters, and they will come closer and closer. So let's start with round 2. Usually, both players are not playing on rush box, so they are not going to really initiate any battle from turn 1. So let's just see from turn 2. Okay. So Basil is using summon units. This summon is for Yusuke. Okay. So Iris teleport, and MethoD Mystery here is having the attack blessing from Tiaris, and also Iris teleport, and also the small faction buff, not faction buff, the small attack buff from Tiaris. So this MethoD Mystery is basically all set to kill that juggler. But MethoD here can easily avoid that just by moving Yusuke. Just move back Yusuke, you will not be attacked by the MethoD Mystery. Instead, MethoD here directly opens the 3-cost skill from Valor, but not to move up the Yusuke. So a very lucky throne is triggered. The juggler here is definitely killed because the magic defense is just too low. And the MethoD Mystery successfully killed that juggler, but because of throne, she also got killed. So although Lukcid got rid of the juggler here, the game still looks very hard because it could be very hard for Lukcid to kill any of those characters here. So this Alastriel's only target is this Net of Mystery. So Lukcid needs to kill that Net of Mystery. But MethoD also don't really want to lose Net of Mystery, so his positioning is also very careful. And what Lukcid is doing is moving back. The reason is because Wheeler's 3-cost skill is still on those characters. You really don't want to fight against a team with all of the buff on, so you basically, what Lukcid is doing is he tries to wait out after Yusuke transform back, after Net of Mystery and Basil lose this Wheeler's buff, then that's the timing for Lukcid to jump in again. It's definitely not now, but yeah, they're already getting very closer. Tag Blessing on on this Alastriel, strengthen buff on Net of Mystery. So this Alastriel may need to, you need to kind of jump in this turn anyway, because the next turn, MethoD can already reach Lukcid, but this is not really the best time to jump in, and basically the damage is just not much. I would say maybe because there's still a tank from Lukcid's side, so maybe you can still just stay back for a few turns. It is not that easy for Lukcid to get through the juggler by Yusuke, but yeah, but the other thing is this Net of Mystery can kill the juggler fairly easily. Yeah, and there was a lucky breeze from the MethoD side, so with that breeze, this Net of Mystery can actually reach Lukcid. Otherwise, this Alastriel can just move back for one more turn. Yeah, but yeah, the breeze is kind of unfortunate, but then yeah, you just you can only react by moving Alastriel, but yeah, this is kind of already over. So I would say what happens here is that Lukcid loosely mind game against killing Basil or like Net of Mystery, and it is a little bit unfortunate that his Net of Mystery just killed herself when he is trying to kill the juggler from MethoD side. So for the battle between the top players, luck is definitely one of the components that will decide the result of the battle. And then we're moving on to the next game here between Lukcid and MethoD. So players can actually switch the box between those battles, but both players, they really have already a very decent and solid team, so they didn't make any change. And for both players, they still decided to ban Landius first. So for both players, again, they tried to kill the juggler and then to kill the other team. So this is their objective. So try to kill a tank first. Landius is harder to kill. This is still why they first ban Landius first. And then yeah, it's actually a very similar pick and ban. They still ban the Zoraida and Listiel the next. Oh, actually, MethoD realized that the Alastriel from Lukcid is very strong. So here instead, he actually bans out the Alastriel here. And then MethoD picks Hihei, and Lukcid here already does not have any assassin to use. Okay, Lukcid used the Listiel, another strong character against Juggler. And Lukcid already banned out MethoD's Gospel, so this Listiel, if she used the finger skill, that is going to be very effective on Juggler. So MethoD here gets the Iris. Iris with Hihei is also a very strong combo. Hihei can easily slap a character with the Iris teleport if you have kind of mispositioning from Lukcid's side. Even without the AoE, usually Hihei is enough to kill a character with backstab. So any of those special characters, they can potentially get killed. Especially like Ritual. Although like you may hit the AoE with Juggler and Ritual, so Juggler is going to heal the Ritual, but then the backstab is going to kill that. So, and then there is also Claret from MethoD to limit the mobility of Lukcid. So it is actually not that easy for Method to get through the juggler in this game. So if we think about it, usually Claret can kill juggler, but you need to have the attack buff and also damage increase buff. There is damage increase buff, but there is no attack buff for Claret. So that is actually very hard to kill the juggler. On Lukcid side, this tail and also ritual combo could be deadly to Method, but then again, the Hihei here can trade with this ritual easily. So yeah, and also one thing that we need to make sure is that Hihei with the Fist of the Mortal Flame, this skill can actually kill Juggler as well, because it will apply the heal reverse. So if the Hihei applies that to Juggler, then Method actually have one chance to kill the Juggler. But the reason that I said this chance is not very clear is because you have Gospel from Ritual. So with Gospel and Juggler, then Hihei cannot really kill the Juggler. So, and also there's no backstab, so that means Ritual may not be killed as well. So this battle actually looks very worse for Method at the beginning, just because Lukcid has the all the characters to counter Method character. But yeah, we will see what happens. So Juggler jumps in and use the guard skill. Okay. Method here use the guard skill as well, and Yusuke is going to call Affection buff for Hihei. Okay, so Method so Lukcid decided to use the Gospel on Ritual. So yeah, so this leaves Juggler not protected by this Gospel. So Hihei can be a huge threat. Okay, the other bad move from Lukcid is because he moved that detail. So you kind of need to have some, even this tail is hard to, it's very hard to, deal enough damage to Hihei, but you can still do the blood dance if Hihei jumps in, with Iris, teleport, and this tail. So you can blood dance Hihei, so his second attack is going to be very weak. So maybe your juggler may survive, but at this point, for Lukcid, there is nothing he can do. Like, if Hihei applies the heal reverse, you cannot really heal, and you cannot dispel that debuff. So at this point, there is nothing that Lukcid can really do. So I would think the correct method is to move Valor first, and if you see that teleport on Hihei, you should also teleport up your Listel. So after Hihei apply this heal reverse, at least your Listel can react with that. So this is going to be a trade between Hihei and Juggler, and also the next turn Clarity is going to jump in and finish Juggler, and you can also finish that. So it's going to be some trade there, but if you move like that, this is basically your Juggler is dead, and yeah, and Clarity and Yusuke is still going to be there. So that is very hard to come back later. Okay. So Valor is calling the 3-cost skill. Hihei just going to apply the heal reverse here, and heal reverse counters Valor's 3-cost skill a lot. Yeah, this basically is a dead Juggler now. So a lot of players, they think Hihei is assassin, so he's only targeting your squash unit. But here, Method just show us Hihei can also be a huge threat to Juggler as well. At this point, this is basically getting Yusuke ready, and nothing can actually be a threat to Yusuke now. And Method already got the target killed, the Juggler got killed, so he just want to move back and slow it down a little bit. Okay, so Clarity is going to trade with the Ritual. which is a great trait, because after you kill the ritual here, Lukcid lose the ability to actually get through the juggler. At this point, there's nothing from Lukcid's side that can actually threat the juggler. Although this tail can still use the finger touch skill to, apply this debuff on juggler, you cannot actually get through juggler, so that's the problem. Whereas MethoD still have a huge threat, which is Lukcid, that can either kill the double killer or deal enough damage to the Listel. So Listel needs to actually use finger touch to Lukcid. So that basically makes Lukcid in like 3 turns cannot do much, but that is okay. As long as Lukcid just don't do much in these turns, you can always find a chance later. And the more problem is like the biggest problem is you cannot kill that juggler. This manbur is not going to be very helpful as well. So juggler is actually going to heal the Lukcid first before doing this damage. Okay. So this becomes a slow battle, but the result is already very clear. From Lukcid, you just cannot get through the Lukcid. And yeah, Lukcid is just, if you play this long enough, Lukcid can just destroy you. So MethoD here is just trying to be very, very safe and kill, and didn't actually kill enough of the Lukcid character, but it drags down to the end. Yeah, so MethoD still get the other win from Lukcid, and this makes MethoD the champion of the Season 1 of our community tournament. So this is the final battle between MethoD and Lukcid. A very, very interesting battle. If you want to learn more about our tournament, you can go to the Langrisser site and the tournament hall to learn more about the Salamander Langrisser. There are all these different replays for the earlier round. And yeah, we will also release some of the information about our future tournament in the Langrisser soon as well. So see you guys next time. Peace.